Well, guys, welcome to our this month's class, Creative Financing. This is where we go over multiple loan options and kind of where they apply and how kind of demonstrating the creativity of Rain City and how it can help you win on more deals and make more money.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
There you go. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Chris.
All right, there we go. Guys, for those of you who have not met yet, my name is Chris Burdick, and I'm a loan officer, sales executive with Rain City Capital in the Oregon market. And as you can see, 25 years experience in private lending. I used to be a private lender, like just me and my dad, my family had a private lending business. And then last couple of years got in with Rain City Capital. A lot bigger pool of cash to work with, a lot more options, which is awesome. And I'm also an investor myself, and I've got multiple doors and types of rentals that we own. And then with
I think you might have froze.
Rain City, yeah, geez, $27 million in loans now. I think I was making more before that. So that's me. And now, Lisa, take it away.
Yep, my name is Lesa. I live in Washington. I just like what it says, I have 16 years of experience in real estate. I started as an agent, and about 4 years ago, I switched over to Rain City and absolutely love it. It's definitely given a little bit different pace in life. I still get to be in real estate. I actually have a rental myself, but it allows me to be able to be part of the family, but still in real estate. So those are my numbers down below, and just love working here. And Chris and I have been doing these classes for almost a year now. We do it once a month. We pick a topic, and really we pick a topic from your guys' surveys that we do at the end of class. Our goal and mission is to educate and to be a useful tool for you and be part of the transaction and be a team with you. So Chris and I truly believe that if we can be here, educate, tell you what we do, how we can help, then you're just going to be more successful, and your success is predicated on it. So, Chris, do you want to start? We'll get going.
Yeah.
Anything to add on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and you can go back one more slide. I was just going to mention the states that we're in: Oregon, Washington, Texas, and recently Tennessee. We have a bias for Chattanooga and Nashville in those areas. And so those are the 4 states that we operate in as far as our bridge loans and fix and flip loans we'll talk about today. And we also do other states as well for the 30-year loans we'll talk about today. But I don't want to still put too much. Let's jump to the next slide and go over for Lisa is going to go over with us kind of what is hard money recap of last month's class.
Right, absolutely. So like we mentioned, we do one every month. Last class, we had an hour on just what is hard money. What is it? We dived into it and we really dissect it. This class, we're going to talk about all of the other types of loans that we do. And that's why it's called creative financing. And so we're going to basically go in and sprinkle that information so you have it. But first, for those people that didn't attend that class, I just kind of want to tell you what hard money is. So it is a non-conventional finance loan. It's an asset-based loan. It cannot be owner-occupied at all, okay? The biggest reason why people use hard money versus maybe going to a traditional conventional loan is the fact that we can close easy. We can close fast. Our fastest is less than 24 hours. Please don't do that to us because that's, very stressful. But for the best rate, we ask for about 10 days closing. But that helps you be more successful when you are trying to compete against other people because you're not using a conventional loan. We know that the property is going to probably have a siding problem or a roof. We understand that you are buying something lower than market value to fix up and then gain equity. So the reason why people use hard money is because it's simple and it's fast and it's easy and it's like cash, because cash is king when you're competing. So the most important thing you want to remember is what is hard money is it's non-owner occupied. We look at the deal, if the deal makes sense, and we calculate are you going to be successful on this deal? Are you going to be able to make some money off of it? And we'll actually dive into hard money and those options a little bit more. So I'm just kind of giving you that quick overcap of what hard money is, because we will talk more in depth about that. So go ahead and chit chat.
All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you for that, Lisa. Well, guys, one of the topics that is going to keep coming up in today's class is the BRRRR strategy. And BRRRR stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. And for those of you who are not Bigger Pockets nerds or these various investor things, I'll spell it out for you guys. So what BRRRR refers to is you buy a property that maybe needs some renovation, needs some work, and either it's vacant or you get the tenants out, and you renovate that property, fix it up, make it a lot nicer, and then you get new tenants in there, so you're renting it out to new tenants at a higher rent. And now you go back to the bank and you say, hey, I want to refinance this property. I've got these better tenants paying higher rent. Property's all fixed up. It's worth more now. And so the bank comes in, they say, oh, it's worth more now. We'll give you a bigger loan on that property. So you do a cash out refinance and you seed all your capital back. So now you have a property that you have no, you have no investment in, that basically is given to you, and then you take your money back and you do it again. So repeat. So buy, renovate, refinance, and repeat. So in essence, you're building a portfolio of rental properties using the same pool of money every time, just again and again and again. And that's the BRRRR strategy.
Awesome. And we're going to definitely teach you on what type of loans that we have to offer that can help you with that BRRRR strategy, if that's what you're looking to do. Because we have people that are just in the flipping game. Then we have people that love to buy and hold, and that's all they do.
True.
Then we have people that like to intertwine, hold some, buy some. So really, we will approve you as the borrower, but each and every single deal that you bring to us might have a different exit strategy, end game. So then each loan that we have, you might need, or what's specific to that deal. So we have 6 types of loans that we are going to talk about today. Now, these are the 6 loans that we're going to talk about, and Chris and I are going to go back and forth and share and kind of dive in a little bit more about each one of these types of loans. Now, granted, we only have like an hour, so we're just going to kind of overview and talk about it, but please know that Chris and I are here afterwards to answer all the questions that we have, and then also we can do one-on-one chat as well. So let's get started.
Sure.
Awesome.
Very cool. All right, guys. The first one we're talking about is what I refer to in the business as just a fix and flip loan. This is kind of the bread and butter for Rain City. We do a ton of these all the time. This is basically a bridge loan where we also include renovation. So Bridge with Reno is renovation financing. So we're financing both pieces. And so in a standard bridge loan for us, the rates on these things, everybody asks, what's the rate? What's the term? Rates are between 8 and 12 based on market and experience level. Usually they're a 12-month term, but you can go up to 18 months if you want to. Origination is usually between 2 and 4 points. And up to 9% LTC, what that's referring to is loan to cost. And so cost could be just in reference to the purchase price of the property. It could also be the purchase price of the property and the renovation, including it together. And so it all means is like we would fund the first 90% and you would fund the last 10% as your down payment. And on this stuff, it can close very fast in as few as a couple of days. Again, like Lisa said, we prefer not to do that, but in special cases we will. But we prefer that you guys give us a little more time so we can get the very best rates and the very best program for you. So that is Bridge with Reno, AKA fix and flip loan. The other thing is very similar to that one, almost the exact same terms as Bridge without Reno. So this is a case where you're buying a property and it doesn't need renovation. You're just buying it as turnkey, it's ready to go. So you're doing something like that. You need a quick close. And so you're going to do like, you're going to buy that property and then later on, you're going to refinance it into a long-term loan. It's just need to close it fast. Maybe the seller is like, hey, I need to close right now. And the bank that you're working with is taking a long time. And so if you, like Lisa said, if you want to close in a couple of days, close in a week, close in 2 weeks. These are things we can do. Another use for the bridge loans is, let's say you have that property and you can leverage that property into leverage the property and do a kind of a cash out refinance, pull your money back out and use that for another investment. And then the last one there, as far as renovation, that's just as simple as like, you got a property, you already owned it for a while, but you want to do some renovations on it to make it into something really cool. Maybe you want to turn that house into a duplex. Maybe you want to add something on the back end of it. Maybe you want to do some renovation to increase the rents or for sale. And those are all scenarios where you can do a bridge loan just based on equity of the property with or without renovation.
Awesome. So Chris just talked about standard flip bridge loan with renovation or without renovation. So what we're going to do is a lot of times, a lot of people are visual learners. So with our Hard Money 101 class, we dive into that, but this is one of the examples that we use because it's very helpful. So with this example, this is a bridge loan with renovation. So hypothetically, let's say you're buying a property for $300,000 and your renovation, which we're going to include in the loan, is $50,000, and your ARV, some people might not know what that is. That's after reno value. What is the value after you fix it up? Let's say that's going to be $500,000. At Rain City, we actually have two pools of funds that we can go on. We have Rain City capital terms that are, thinking outside the box. We have cash collateral, land collateral. We have different things that we can do. That's the loan type of program that we can close extremely fast. It has a little bit higher rate. That's at 12%. And then we have the Magnolia terms that is fit inside the box, get a better rate, meaning it's an experience-based program. The more you've done, the better rate you get. So that's why you see the range there between 8 and 10. It starts at, if you've done one deal, you get 10%, and then it just kind of goes down to 8%. So we're giving you two examples that if this was a deal that you came to me with, and you wanted to know what does it look like in each program, here's it in front of you. So let's just use the Magnolia. Here are my little faces in front of the thing. Sorry about that. If you had a total loan to cost is $350. That's your purchase price plus your renovation, okay? And let's say we had 15% down. 15% down, take that, that's $297,500. You divide that by your ARV, your 50,000, your 500,000, that would give you a 59% loan to cost. So I'm going to break down on why that's important, because when you're doing a loan in a bridge loan, our max LTV is 70% of the ARV. So if you came to me with that deal, I would say that's an awesome deal. You're at 59% because our max is at 70. So I'm just going to kind of replay that since that was a lot of information. If you came to us with a deal for $300,000, renovation is $50,000. We're doing 15% down. Now, granted, if you've done more than 2 deals, you can probably do this deal at 10%, but just letting you know, we do 10% down. But for this example, it's 15. We would divide that by the ARV and we get 59%. We would know that your success rate is pretty high on this one, and this deal would be a go, and we would definitely be able to do it. Chris, do you want to add anything on this example?
Just that you guys, I know that this is a lot of math thrown at you guys. And so, what I do a lot of my borrowers, and I know Lesa does the same thing, is if you guys have something you're looking at, you can just call us or text us and email us and say, hey guys, I got something, here's the address. Just give us like the purchase price, renovation cost, and ARV. And that's the basis how we calculate this. And we can tell you really quickly what your loan's going to look like, what your down payment's going to look like, what your payment's going to be. And so it helps you guys analyze, what's it going to take to do this deal. And so, yes, you can do your own math or DIY, but if you guys want to just call us and ask us or email us, that works too.
Right. And if you wanted to dissect and talk more about it, this is our Hard Money 101 class. We talk about this. We talk about what all these things are. So that's just kind of like a high level, knowing what a hard money loan is and how we structure it. So that's how we would structure a bridge with reno or bridge without reno loan. Okay. So great. Let's get to the next one. All right. 2+1. So we do have a 2+1. So most of all our bridge loans are around 12 months. We do have 18 months for our spec, but traditionally they're 12 months. This loan is a 2+1. You get 2 years plus the option to extend for 1 year. This is a great option to have. Great option to have if you're not quite sure what you're going to do with the property. Let's say you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to run it, but I might want to sell it. So I don't want to go into your 30-year loan, but I definitely want more than a 1-year loan. So it's one of those like, I'm not quite sure what my exit strategy is. I'm going to hold it for a little bit. Or if you kind of know what some development plans are for that property, maybe the zoning is changing and you don't want to sell it quite yet, this is an option for you. You need to have it. It's a rental option. The rate's around 8 to 10. We do look at what are you getting for rent? What's the purchase price and your ARV? Okay. So this is just an option for you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, guys. This is kind of a 200 level strategy. It's not a particular loan program. It's more like a strategy that we can employ. So, cash is collateral. So, what this allows you to do, this is great for the BRRRR strategy. Allows you to take your cash, and instead of having your cash for the down payment and the loan, we put your cash into a side account and we do a bigger loan on the property. So instead of like having that in there. So in the essence, what you're doing is you have this bigger loan, you renovate the property, you go back to the bank, and the bank looks at that loan and says, oh, we'll give you a rate and term loan. We get a little better interest rate on that, on this loan, as opposed to doing a cash out refinance where you're trying to get your cash out later. When that bank refinances your loan and you pay us off, we just return your money back to you. And so it's like you're front loading the BRRRR strategy, the cash back to yourself. So you're not having to worry as much about the loan to value ratios and then the loan programs doing cash out refinance and what's going on there. So the big things to know about is the down payment is wired to Rain City Capital, not escrow. This is a Rain City portfolio, so it's going to become an in-house deal, and it frees up more cash to do the BRRRR strategy more effectively. And so, real easy example in there. So if you do a purchase price of 300, rent of 60, total cost is 360. We could, take that $72,000 and just wire it to Rain City, and we do a loan that looks like 100% financing loan. When really, we're still protected and it works out for everybody. But for you want that bigger loan. So when the property is worth more, you say, hey, I've got this $36,000 loan. I want to refinance. They say, great, rate and term. You get the very best rate. And off you go. And then we return your $72,000 when that refinances. So cash as collateral can be an awesome strategy for BRRRR. I would recommend, if you guys want to visit this one, talk to Lesa or I about this scenario, and if it makes sense, and kind of weigh out the pros and cons of it, but it can be a really cool and effective strategy.
Absolutely.
The other thing to get into is, so 30-year rental loans. You guys, this product has been taking off the last year or so. What do you say, Lesa? I mean, we've done so many of these. It's hugely popular. So this is what some people refer to as a non-qualified mortgage or non-QM, non-conventional loan for 30-year for a 30-year purpose. So it's a long-term 30-year loan in the hard money space. So it's kind of in between those two things. Some things emulate Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Some things are a little more commercial. But things you guys got to think about is, one, it is a fixed rate loan. It's not an ARM. It's not interest only for a short amount of time. It's like a nice set it and forget it low interest rate, and the rates are as low as 3.75. And what I've been checking out as far as conventional space, like, you're actually competing with conventional loans in this space. So like, we're competitive, whereas before this used to be like 4, 5, 6%, 7%. The rates have really come down this year to a floor of 3.75. And so that's awesome. So very competitive rates. It is for investors. What's cool about this is that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they have a limit of 10 properties that you can do. Like, once you have 10 loans, that's it. You can't do any more unconventional. But for these 30 years, you can have 15, 20, 25. So this is great for people that want to hold more than 10 properties. You want to learn the long-term product, you can do this again and again and again, and we don't report to the credit bureaus. No red tape. Yeah, you guys, this is a much easier product than conventional. Conventional wants to get your tax returns. They want your W-2s. They want to establish the ability to repay if, like, your tenants walked out on you. We don't do any of that. We look at credit score. We look at the cash flow of the property. And we also want to make sure you have enough cash in your bank account to handle 6 months of payments if something came up. So it's much, much easier to get and to get qualify for than say conventional. I think I should mention on that as far as a 30-year, we didn't mention on this slide, but I'll bring it up. We do a portfolio concept on this too, where you can take more than one property and do like 5 properties, 10 properties, 30 properties, up to a $6.5 million portfolio loan to wrap all your properties into one big mega loan. And it's really nice in that like the costs are cheaper. You usually get a blended better rate cumulatively across all your properties, and you only have to sign once and make one payment. So there's a lot of advantages to it. So again, talk to Lesa or I about weighing out pros and cons of the portfolio versus the single property loan. But that's definitely an option. And so yeah, the 30-year has been great for people that want to just buy a property and have it as a rental. Some people want to refinance and take cash out of their existing rental properties. And so that's a great vehicle for that. People are taking their cash out and they're putting in the bank for rainy day. Maybe they're going out and buying more property. Maybe you're using that property to, that additional cash out money to, fund another kind of investment. So lots of different options there to tap the equity of property. What's nice about these is that they're always going to cash flow. So one of the things is it always has to cash flow at least a little bit for you as an investor. So we'll never put you in a spot where you're going to be negative cash flow on a property. It's always a 1.1 debt service coverage ratio, which basically means there's a cash flow a little bit, expenses versus rent. And so you'll always make a little bit of money on this at a minimum on these things. You deal with Lesa and I, we're going to go over the loan options with you, talk about different scenarios you can do, whether you want to do max cash out, maybe you want to chase a certain interest rate, and we can kind of like work with you on the numbers there and find the best loan for what you guys need. But this loan has been taking off. I would say it's maybe a fourth or a third of our business now. Lesa, what do you think?
Absolutely, especially with people using like the cash collateral. These go great hand in hand. So if you know that you're going to buy a property and hold it, you would definitely use the cash collateral so you can get more money back and more cash back in the deal. So this is just another opportunity that we can serve you better and help you with a different loan product. Definitely some of the things that people are asking to touch on. If you don't mind, Chris, I'll just jump on with.
Go ahead.
Someone was asking about, is there prepayment penalties? That's an excellent question. And yes, it's a 5-year prepayment sliding scale. So like the first year would be 5, the second would be 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's one of the reasons why some people might choose the 2+1 option, because maybe they might want to sell it. So they would do the 2+1, a little bit higher rate, but it doesn't have a prepayment penalty like this 30-year. So that's why it's so important that we're your team and you tell us what's your exit strategy. We just don't want to put you in a loan and say, see ya, have a good time. We want to know what's your end game so we can put you in the right loan with the right exit strategy. So yes, that one does have a prepayment penalty. One of the other questions is their credit score? Now, I'll answer that one. Just know, Madeline and Greta, the questions are coming in. So I might miss one. So maybe you can help us out on that. But there is a minimum. It is 680. The tiers are kind of like 680, 720, and then 800, where your rate would be a little different when we quote you. But it also means, is it just a rate term or is there cash out? So it's definitely one that we need a little bit more information to give you a quote versus just shooting off what's your purchase price, reno, ARV. It's more of, okay, what's your address? What's the taxes? What's the insurance? What's your payoff? Because we need to make sure we hit the DSCR on that. I think, I don't remember any of the other questions. You see another couple questions on there, Chris, that we can answer?
A couple on there. There was one that asked about, let's see, does this 30-year apply to commercial? The answer is, that's a great question, you guys. The 30-year currently at this point is just for single family up to 4-unit properties. I guess some people that are asking me, what about a 5-plex or an 8-plex? Not yet, guys. I think Lesa and I would love to have that. We're working on Fred on that. But currently at this time, it is just 4 units or under, single family residence, typically going to be in a populated area. So probably not the rural farm out in the middle of nowhere. kind of what, more populated areas, more urban.
Mhm.
And then let's see, fees. We talked about that as far as how much of the fees. Yeah, it's going to be between 1% and 2%. There's actually a way on these loans that you can do a rate buy down where like you pay an extra 1% fee and you get a 0.5 point discount on your rate. And typically those things, in my experience, I'm sure Lisa is the same, of like the payoff on these is usually between 2 and 3 years. And so, if you're going to hold this thing for more than that, it makes sense usually to do the buy down. To do it. So 1 point equals a 0.5 point discount off your rate.
Yep.
Let's
Oh,
see.
Nariana, hi. You had a question too. I just saw that.
Do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, sure. Love to see you off camera. I would love to. We always talk. We've talked for a really long time, but I've never actually seen his face. So you'll have to come on the Q&A and show yourself. Does this apply to multiple properties? And what if we decide to sell later? Fabulous question. Yes, you can. We do actually, in fact, have a sheet that will be in your loan docs that's saying, hey, if you buy down this one, it has to be a 120 ratio. So let's say you have each property, let's give an example, is worth 100,000, and you were going to pay off one of those loans and take it out of that portfolio. You would need to pay 120,000, so the ratio would still stay the same. So yes, you can do that, and we would definitely be able to guide you and tell you what each amount was given for that said property. So that's no problem at all.
Cool. And then one last one about short-term rental. Do we do short-term rental, Lisa?
Oh, I don't think so. Do you want to do it? You can answer that question.
All right. So real quick, guys. Yes, asked about do we evaluate short-term rental? So short-term rental is one of those things that we're doing some beta testing with that right now, and testing the viability of our investors and seeing where the appetite is. So I've gotten a lot of questions on this in the last month or two, as I'm sure Lisa has as well.
Yes.
And the answer I've been giving is, guys, just wait. We're kind of waiting to see how this goes. We're probably another month or so to kind of test the waters with that. But we're very hopeful that we'll have some for short-term rental investors very soon. Currently, the answer is no. We just do more like vanilla. There's a 12-month lease on the home, and either it's a couple of tenants, roommates, or maybe it's a family. That kind of situation is kind of the main way that leases need to be for our product. But yeah, we're working on short-term rental components. So check back with us in another month or so. We're hopeful that we'll have something for you guys.
Absolutely. We're definitely into make sense lending. So we try and do our best to make sure we have anything and everything that you could possibly need. We want to be there to help you. So I'm excited to get that launched because I definitely know people are wanting that 100%. I think we answered all the questions. The 30-year is huge. We understand that. We acknowledge it. So if there's more questions at the end, we will definitely dive into that. It is not common to have a hard money lender also offer the takeout financing. So we kind of know we're one-stop shop, and a lot of people are looking for that piece of how they can invest. So we are definitely afterwards, we'll stay and answer any other questions that we may or may not have gotten to. So we'll definitely get more of that. Okay.
Couple quick questions before we move on. Just real quick ones. 30-year cash out or purchase only?
Oh yeah. Cash out or rate term. We definitely can do that.
Okay. And then which properties qualify for the fix and flip in 2+1? Like what types of properties? Since we talked about 30-year properties.
Oh, do you want to answer that? Sorry, Chris. Didn't mean to jump.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah. So with a 2+1 and the fix and flip, the fix and flip generally we're doing it towards like houses and duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. We do some fix and flip on large multifamily and on mixed use stuff, but it's kind of a case by case basis and depending on the complexity and that sort of thing. So, but I think the 2+1 is, if I'm wrong, Lisa, is that just for under 4 units?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So that product is not available for commercial use, just residential. So yeah, good questions though.
Very good questions. Do we catch all those? Okay, go. Awesome. You guys are doing awesome. Thanks for staying with us. Okay. Manufactured homes, a little bittersweet. So the joke used to be that I was the queen of manufactured swaps because I do a lot of these. I'll tell you about it, but I'll tell you with the caveat, there's a little bit of struggle right now due to homes availability and the length of how long it takes to actually get a house to purchase a manufactured home. So I'll talk about what it is and kind of the struggles with it. But if you have any questions afterwards, definitely hit me up. What it is if you buy a piece of property, a land, okay? And we'll go into our land acquisition as well, but this is just manufactured homes. You're buying one and you're going to put a new one in. Or what if you want to purchase a manufactured home and just fix it up and then sell it? So that's kind of, we can do both of them. But this is you're swapping it. We definitely can do that. There's local vendors that will help us out. We can help with the renovation. We can do the acquisition of the property. We can help with the loan, but it's all of where is it at, okay? So we do this. Loan to cost definitely does play a factor more than LTV, loan to value. So if you remember with our first example, we were talking about loan to cost, the 70% LTV, loan to value of the ARV. This comes into play of the LTC. These are about 80%, 75, 80% loan to cost and value. So you definitely have to have skin in the game with this type of loan. So what I would suggest, if you're like, hey, I'm going to flip these, I'm going to put a new one on, give me a call, because I have investors that this is all they do. And they used to be able to turn and burn within months. But right now, what they're having to do is they're having to purchase the land with basically their cash, or we can do a loan on it. But they purchase it, they order the manufactured home, they put the $10,000 down that needs to be. So they have a lot of cash starting up. And then when it's ready to be dropped, then I'll come in and I will give them credit for the land purchase. I'll give them credit for the down payment, and we'll help them buy the manufactured home and also the work that needs to be done on clearing the property. But right now, it doesn't make sense for me to be your start, because those homes can take 9 months or 10 months to get because there's so many delays. So it's one of those. If you're interested in this, if this is a direction you want to head, let's have a conversation, because I can definitely hook you up with people that maybe might not be, 9-10 months down the road. I'm actually closing 2 of them this week, and they kind of did the exact same thing what I just talked about. They did the land first, they put the down payment on the home, and then I came in and did the loan for the home and the budget and scope. Okay, so this is a Rain City term only. We can't do the Magnolia. This is more of a creative financing type of loan. So they will be the Rain City terms. Did we have a question on that? Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
There's one question in there. Lisa says, do you have any loans to develop or refi out manufactured or modular on permanent foundation?
Oh, great question. So they are similar, but they're different. The manufactured home is going to be like a vehicle before it attaches to the ground, right? We have to do title elimination. We have to go through that. So that's its own program. But modular homes is made in a factory, but we consider it more of the spec construction. So we do the same LTC, about 75% to 80%, but it's just a little bit different because a manufactured home, we will put 50% down payment on the house. And then when it gets delivered and attached to the property and becomes a real property, then we'll pay the rest of the 50% down. However, with a modular home, it's a little bit different and it's considered spec. So yes, we can do it, but we'll just dive in a little bit more if you guys have more questions about that. Hopefully I answered it. And thanks for working through with me. I'm having a little technical difficulties because the questions are on one screen and our pictures and everybody that's here is right on the slide. So I actually can't even see the slide and I can't get it to move. So you guys are doing good.
Let's see. And then let's see. Sandra in the audience. Yeah.
Land.
We'll touch with you on this.
Yep, the land one.
Yeah,
perfect.
Go ahead and land.
So I kind of touch bases on this. Yes. Do we do land loans? Yes, we do. Is that in our wheelhouse? it's not the most favorable thing that we like to do, but we do it. Especially for our borrowers, we're all about relationships. So if we have a borrower that we know that this is their bread and butter, they buy the land, they put the manufactured home or their spec construction, they've proven that they can do it. Yes, we will do the land construction. But we also are a little bit more cautious if we have a buyer that comes to us and be like, hey, I want to do a spec construction, but maybe has never done a flip before. We might say, okay, you buy the land, you have some skin in the game, and then we work from there. So when it comes to land, please, please, please call Chris and I. Call us up, say, this is what I want to do, and we'll walk you through it. It is 50% down, and it's going to be Rain City terms, and it's normally around 3 points. Yes, we can close very quickly, but just know that this is one that I do definitely want you to call one of us. Okay. So I think the next one are examples. All right. So this is one of my borrowers. Pretty awesome. This is our 30-year. So I wanted to show you an example of what our 30-year can do and what can offer for you. So he actually bought this property in Texas for cash. So when you buy a property in cash, our 30-year program looks at it as a rate term. So you'll have a little bit better rate. So he purchased it for $155,000. It hardly needed any work, just a little lipstick, some carpet cleanup for $5,000. It was worth $247,000 afterwards. And his loan with us for the 30-year, because his rent was $1,600, was $170,000. So if you do the math, he got all his money back. He got his points paid for, and now he can go do it again, which he then, you can do the other slide real quick because this is the same borrower, decided, okay, you know what? I love that I can get all my cash back, but maybe I should use you as a hard money loan first. So he then purchased this one with me on the bridge. He didn't actually take out the renovation because he just wanted to turn and burn it real quick, but he purchased it for $248,000. He did have a renovation of $25,000, a little bit more, and $350,000. His rent was $260,000, so he was able to get another 30-year loan. So with the 30-year loan product, you can do it with, it's free and clear if there's a loan on it. And so these are just different options that you have, and it's kind of fun to see real live examples of borrowers that have used us before. Someone said, we love Texas. That's awesome. Any questions on these two examples or the slides that we went through? I just want to make sure. Do we see any? Okay. Perfect. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, Chris.
All right, guys. Yeah, guys. So this is sort of a wrap up and a kind of a recap of all the things we talked about today. So things you guys heard about are the bridge loan, and that's just like closing it feels 48 hours. You can do the fix and flip or burr, which basically means you're doing with renovation, without renovation. This is a great entry into a burr strategy. So bridge loan to start out. There's 30-year rental, which is kind of the takeout piece, or you can do a 30-year rental on the front end if you have if they give you time to close that deal. So 30-year rental loans, again, that one is, no debt to income, personal income, tax returns required, and just looking for the cash flow, and you have decent credit, and you have enough money in the bank to cover the payments. Again, portfolio loan as opposed to a single property loan is also possible. And lots of different options with a 30-year, lots of different great strategies. So that's awesome. Cash as collateral, we talked about that as far as doing a bigger loan, putting your cash into a side account. That way, when you go to refinance, you get a better rate and term, because now it's a rate and term refinance as opposed to a cash out refinance. So there's that strategy. The 2+1, which Lesa touched on, that's the 2-year loan. You're not sure what you're going to do. Maybe you want to build some rental history. Maybe you want to think about doing a renovation on the property at a later date, maybe a year or two from now. 2+1, you can actually extend it out for another year. Land loans, we talked about that. So you can buy vacant land, and then also manufactured homes. And the 3 ways you have on that, as far as renovating them, doing the swap outs, or just building brand new on land. I'm going to add a 7th thing in here and say another thing we do, guys, cover is new construction. Not covered in our class today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We didn't cover that today, and that's just, yeah, we'll have that in next time, our next creative financing class. But guys, we also do new construction. New construction has become a complicated animal, so it's probably not for the brand new investor. Probably somebody that's done at least like 4, 5, 6, 7 deals. Maybe they've already built some homes already, so they have some, some street cred there. But new construction loans, it's kind of similar to the bridge loan. So we go as high as 15% down, and the rates on that are usually in between 9 to 11%. But yeah, very similar to the bridge loan, just you're going ground up. And so they work with a lot of builders and people that are maybe adding on an ADU. Could be a new construction loan. A lot of different options with that too. So yeah, guys, creative financing, a little bit of everything with Rain City Capital. At least I always like to say we're kind of a one-stop shop. So whether you want to buy the property and keep it long-term, you want to do something different, you want to go up with new construction, whatever you need, we got you covered. So that's kind of it for today. I think we got a little Q&A and then